Hello, Miata, 3-month review. I think it's about time I start making a few more videos for this thing. So, after 3 months of ownership, I have to say this is probably the best car I could have bought. It's in fantastic shape. It really is. There are only a few things that I could replace. There's absolutely nothing that has to be replaced. All the wheels are very nice. The tires are still in great shape. They're just a little dirty. I managed to remove the wheels and look at the pads, and the pads are all still they have a lot of pad left on them. The only thing that I've noticed on a daily driving experience, whatever, is somewhere in here, awesome airplanes going by, somewhere in here there's a squeak. It's annoying as heck, but that's it. Just a little squeak somewhere in here, probably something to do with the trunk lid. But other than that, the top doesn't leak. There's a tiny little drip on the driver's side window, but there's nothing major. All the lights work, the electronics work, engine works, it revs fantastically, the clutch is fantastic. This is by far the most fun I've had driving. And I can't wait until I end up getting a manual transmission car that has more power. I have to say, if there's one thing I hate about this car, it is so slow. But when I do end up having fun with it, I can still be going the speed limit. So there's a plus. Now, there's a few things that I have planned for this car. I'm probably going to be painting these black with gloss, like a gloss coating on top. I'm probably going to do Plasti Dip in case I want to remove it. It just peels right off. But I want a alternating black, white, black theme. That being said, I'm going to do the same to these lights, like all the lights on the outside, the side markers, the tail lights, the turn lights here. I'm going to Plasti Dip those as well. But I'm not going to do that until I buy the LEDs that I'm going to replace all of the halogen bulbs with, which that's probably going to be this week. So these are going to be LEDs, all the side markers are going to be LEDs, the rear lights in the back, all 7 of them are going to be LEDs, turn signals, stop lights, backup lights, and third brake light. I guess technically 8, 9, whatever if you count the license plate bulbs. Everything. It's going to look so nice. And I'm going to be thrilled. I don't like the look of halogen bulbs. To be honest, they seem old to me, which they are. Having done this mod to my TC, I've got to say it's one of my favorite things to do, and I can't wait to do it now. And there's another airplane. All that being said, one of the few things that could be replaced, but doesn't have to be, is going to be the driver wiper arm. There's a little bit of surface rust, so I'm going to take a Dremel tool and kind of try and get rid of that. And then I bought black spray paint. And I'm going to repaint both of them, and hopefully that will prevent future rust. There's a couple things on the inside that could be done, but I'm not going to for the time being. One of which is the steering wheel itself. Little focus. There we go. It's pretty cracked, like really cracked on top. I've kind of dealt with it. It'd be nice to fix, but I'm not going to at the moment. Another thing is I'm pretty sure that this gauge hood, although it was modeled after the stock one, I don't believe it is. First of all, there's paint drippage right here. There's overspray on here, and it doesn't quite fit. So I would say 99% certain is not the original. There's no clip back here. And both of the mounting points down here broke, one on either side. So it's literally held in by twisty ties at the moment. And when I accelerate, you know, it rocks back and forth. So that's cool. I'm not going to fix this anytime soon because, you know, reasons. It doesn't need to be fixed. It's actually kind of funny every time I accelerate quickly and it flops around. So I'm going to leave it for the time being. Another thing that could be fixed but doesn't need to be on the inside is the Speedo Cable. Pretty much every time I drive actually, and I'm not accelerating hard, like just a steady acceleration or even just holding my speed, the needle will sit there and it'll sort of flicker. And that's really annoying. So, you know, little things, nothing major. This I have not fixed. Well, fixed, but not fixed. It's still disconnected down wherever, somewhere along the way. Again, something that doesn't need to be fixed, so isn't going to be right now. One last thing that I've noticed is one of the rotors. I'm not sure which ones, but I would assume the front one of the front ones, because of the fact that it happens when I'm gently braking. And since these are the main sources of stopping power, that's what's leading me to believe it's one of these. But one of the rotors is slightly warped. I can feel it catching and releasing the brake pads when I start braking. Again, something that could be replaced, but isn't going to be anytime soon, especially since the pads are very good. So, that is my 1995 Mazda Miata. Just a few cosmetic issues, but for a car that is 21 years old and just a few years younger than I am beyond happy. And so is he. So, thank you for watching. I hope to get a few videos in soon with a couple of the modifications. But for the time being, that's my update. Thank you.